Some Kansas pharmacists are cautiously optimistic about the possibility of lower prescription drug prices.
Yeah, President Trump signed a new executive order he says will stop Americans from paying those drastically high prices, higher than most people in other countries. KAKE's Lily O'Brien joins us now in studio with more. Lily?
With a stroke of a pen, President Trump signed another executive order, this time aiming to lower drug prices in the U.S. and match prices paid by other nations. The order targets pharmaceutical manufacturers and middlemen, which have been a problem for independent pharmacies in Kansas for years. It's a problem that's pushed plenty of independent pharmacies to the brink, paying more and getting paid less.
Everybody is paying more than they ever have for drugs. Pharmacies are getting paid less than they ever have for drugs.
Darren Price owns 9 pharmacies in South Central Kansas. He's one of hundreds of independent pharmacists and pharmacy owners in Kansas calling for legislative action to safeguard pharmacies. He says President Trump's executive order to lower drug prices could be a turning point.
It was encouraging to hear specifically that they were going to be looking at the middleman, because that is the sole reason that drugs are so expensive in the United States.
The executive order takes action against practices that drive price hikes in the U.S., while other countries pay less. It also calls for a mechanism where Americans can buy drugs directly from manufacturers, bypassing middlemen. The middlemen in question, Price says, are pharmacy benefit managers who set the price points for drugs, copays, and reimbursements.
We've been yelling for years that the artificial inflation of drugs is because of PBMs. And the proof is in the pudding. No one else has it. It's why all these different countries pay less for drugs. We are the only country that have them, and we pay 10 times as much as anybody else does.
The White House says Americans make up less than 5% of the global population, but fund 75% of the world's pharmaceutical profits. Meanwhile, independent drugstores in Kansas are continuing to close.
You've seen, 3 pharmacies go out of business in the greater Wichita area in the last 3 months, and I think over the last decade, 100 pharmacies have gone out of business here in Kansas.
President of the Kansas Pharmacists Association, Sloan Freeman, says the organization is, quote, cautiously optimistic about what the future holds with the executive order. In studio, Lily O'Brien, KAKE News on your side.